Welcome in everybody on a Sunday to the Every Point Sports Podcast. I am Jack Neary from Fantasy Farm Sports, and we have Greg Kratzer, old gamer GK with us. How we doing, Greg?
We are doing great. It's great to be back. Sorry, we missed you guys last week. We had some stuff to do, but we are back this week. Excited. Some great topics to talk about.
We finally have, last week was a little slow, so we take it off. It's fine, right? Sometimes you let the game come to you. You got to let the game come to you. And if there's not a lot of information, we're not just going to keep mowing the same piece of grass, right? So this week I want to start with our first hot topic, right? Our first hot topic of the week was the Dan Hurley topic, right? Let's not, because that was the first one. That we got a couple other ones, but Dan Hurley possibly leaving the University of Connecticut after 2 national titles to go be the Los Angeles Lakers coach. What do you think about that, Greg?
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it for 2 reasons. All right. UConn is my basketball team. All right. That's my men's basketball team. I'm gonna put that aside. All right. I don't like it for that fact. Leave my team alone. But I don't really like it for the fact that I don't like too many college coaches going to the Lakers. I really don't. I think it's I think LeBron is too much of a coach killer. I think you have a good thing going at UConn. Why even ruin that? There's so many times you see a college coach go to the NBA. You see it in college football also. They come to the pro sports, to the big boys, and they just don't cut it. Who recently? What was that? Pitino? Great college coach. Great college coach. He didn't do crap in the NBA.
I don't think Pitino's a fair example.
But he was.
Because this is why
he was better than Hurley.
Everybody brings up Pitino and Calipari. Pitino and Calipari left not because of the opportunity in the NBA. They left because allegations were coming. So they got out. Okay. They were not going to be able to participate in the field of 64 for the next 5 years in the buildings they were in. That was just going to happen. So they jumped. And listen, they got nice situations. Calipari went to the Nets, and Pitino had a better situation, but it wasn't the Boston Celtics that we're seeing in the finals.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
It was a remake of a garbage squad.
Yeah.
But he had to get out of where he was because allegations were coming, and they were right. So this is Dan Hurley, more like a Mike Krzyzewski. Okay, Mike Krzyzewski was offered the Lakers job. Once upon a time, if you guys don't know, Coach K wasn't always going to be at Duke. He was going to be the Lakers coach, and he ended up turning it down. But just understand that the years afterwards weren't the pinnacle of what Duke basketball is again. You had down years. And I think that Dan Hurley, if he leaves UConn, I think he's going to be promised that he can remake that squad the way he wants.
There's been a lot of teams, though, that has promised these coaches some leeway. Give me 2-3 years, to build the team again, to get it up to par, to rebuild the roster once LeBron does leave. I don't think that they're patient enough. I really don't. I think you get one bad year out of Hurley. If they don't make the playoffs with LeBron next year, or they get bounced out in the playoff tournament or the first round, Hurley's gone. They don't have the patience.
But there's always the question of could I have coached a professional team, right? You don't want to leave that out there at the end of your life, right? So
but it's one of those things you don't want to. You got a good thing already. You took over from Ollie. You took over a somewhat good situation, and you're making it better.
I took over a disaster that Ollie left. He had one good, nice year, and then he couldn't fight. He didn't care to recruit. So I took over a disaster. UConn wasn't the UConn of old. It wasn't the Rip Hamilton.
No, but they still won a chip with him.
Yeah, I get that. And that was
you have to run. But you still have to give him the respect. He won a chip. You know what I mean? He's not a chump.
My worst case scenario is I get hired by the Lakers. It doesn't go well, and I go coach at Yale or Providence. or another. I'm saying I'm gonna get a Big East job if it doesn't work.
If it doesn't work, you're gonna get another coaching job, but you're building something already. You already have built it. Like you won back to back. You know what I mean? Like, you know how hard that is?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
So,
like, I don't think there's ever been a team that's three-peated.
They could be the first one. And
by the way, you're losing half your team. Back. You're losing half your team for the second year in a row to the NBA.
Yeah, but they have a strong core coming back up.
I think that this is the loss. So first of all, here's what's going to happen. Okay, Dan Hurley had the conversation with his wife because she's a Jersey girl. And the second conversation he had was over the phone with this old man, and they probably went to a bar somewhere and was going to sit down and really work this out. Hey, do you really want to do this? Because, once upon a time, your brother was the coach of Buffalo, doing pretty well. Bob, your brother Bob, he did pretty well. Then he went to Arizona State. I don't have a lot of ties out west. I've never been a Western Conference guy, so you're going to be out there on your own. Now, you can go out there on your own. Your brother's done okay at Arizona State. But Los Angeles Lakers is a whole new ball game. Now, I think from the Lakers standpoint, they are signaling that LeBron James is gone.
This year or after this year?
I think he's gone. I think here's what's going to happen. Let's look at the current events that have already taken place, right? Rumors about JJ Redick.
And
LeBron James goes on his show to kind of put his arm around him. Like he does many coaches in the beginning. And the Lakers come right out and go, yeah, it's not going to be JJ Redick. We actually haven't even called JJ Redick, just to let you know. He's kept the same TV appearances, which means there hasn't been any real conversation. It's been all kind of trumped up, whatever, just noise. And the Lakers are serious about Dan Hurley. I've heard the rumor of 8 years, $100 million ironclad. LeBron's gone. They have no interest in drafting his son. And what he's going to have to do is make a phone call to an old man that helped him once upon a time, and Pat Riley, and go, hey, look, we've had our differences. I want to come back down here and play in South Beach. Just work out a contract to where, it works out for your team because it's Pat's team. And by the way, please draft my son. That's like one of my wishes.
See, Pat
will say yes to it. Pat will say yes to that. Because what he's going to also do is go, hey, Spoelstra wants to bring you off the bench. You're going to have to live with that. Because I'm not saying that LeBron's a bench player, but I think you get more mileage out of him if him and his kid both come off the bench together. Like, that's a real team now. Jimmy works the first end, or Jimmy and whomever work the first part of the offense, and you come on and decimate their second string. That's a real 1-2. You don't need the 1-2 punch on the floor at the same time. Your games are different. I think he goes back to Miami once LA's done with him.
There's more of a chance he goes back to Cleveland than Miami.
Oh, that owner hates him.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just saying. There's way more of a chance that he goes back to Cleveland than Miami. Now to go back on to what you were saying before, just to kind of counter your point or counter your point of view, is I'm hearing a little bit of different stuff, and not through mainstream media. This is stuff that I'm hearing through podcasts, different snips I'm hearing from ex-NBA players and current NBA players that are on podcasts, saying that JJ's still in the mix. He might be an underdog, but he's still in the mix. And I'm hearing that the Lakers aren't totally closed out on drafting Bronny, that they're still open to that. LeBron has to the end of the month to make his decision. I think it's June 30th. I think is when the players has to opt in or out. Yeah, but that's where it is.
LeBron James always leads the meeting. It's clearly the Lakers that are leading this meeting, right? Like come to us with your demands. And we'll tell you which ones we're going to allow. It's no longer, look, you're 40. How much clout do you think you have in this room? That's what the Lakers are saying with this.
But Jeannie already came out and said that she wants LeBron to retire as a Laker. She wants that.
Yeah, I know. Once upon a time, she loved and wanted to marry Phil Jackson.
Well,
No, I'm just
saying. No, you're right.
Quickly.
You are definitely right. But I mean, the Lakers.
Magic Johnson was the general manager he was the guy. You sure, Jeannie? You know, she's a little wishy-washy.
What's that?
She's a little wishy-washy.
All right, I get you. I don't.
You know, I understand that JJ Redick is still in the running, sure, but he's not top dog.
No, and I think the last time actually we talked on the podcast, I said he came out that he was the lead for the coaching job. But yeah, from what I heard though, he is an underdog, but he's still in the discussion. I really believe that Hurley is it would be a bad move for Hurley. I think it'd be a good move for the Lakers. I think it'd be a really good move for the Lakers. Fresh start, new era coming in. They have a few draft picks now they can spend, to really turn around that team, make it a lot younger, make it non-LeBron again. But I don't see it happening.
I'm getting shirts made. Non-LeBron.
Non-LeBron. Like I said, LeBron's going to make the decision whether or not he stays. If he wants to stay, he's staying. He likes Hollywood too much. He has too much side deals going on in Hollywood to leave the Lakers.
God, I think the Lakers are going to make the decision whether he's leaving or not.
Yes, I see it a different way, but that's fine. That's fine. I mean, that's why it's every point podcast. Right.
I think
we can't agree.
I think that's true. I think it's a direct signal to hey, we gave Hurley an 8-year contract. It's your choice. It's your choice. He's not going to stay.
And I don't think LeBron would welcome a college coach right away like that either.
That's right.
There would be some dissension in the ranks there.
That's right. And I'm going to call up Pat, and I know Eric, and we'll see what we can get done. Because that's what's. And listen, the flight from Miami to LA, the weather's just as good. The movie stars are just as plentiful.
It's like I said though. I think if he goes anywhere, it's back to the Cavs.
You know what, though? So there was a rumor a couple years ago that the Cavs were selling their owner. I forget his name. Forgive me. But he was selling the team. And LeBron was really interested. And he was going to whack LeBron 20% higher for what the market was for the team. He does not like him. He wasn't going to even give him fair market value. I don't believe that there's an opportunity for him to go back there unless he's building another school.
It's one of those things. I think it's a storybook ending for his career if he would go back. Go back, maybe win another chip with them. If not, I mean, you're pairing with Donovan Mitchell and who was that young center that they had?
Jared Allen.
Yeah. Now, I mean, you pair those two.
Oh, they have a great team, and it's a great storybook ending. It's very hard to walk in a building where the guy hates you.
Well, I mean, he did go back once already, and everybody hated him then. The whole city hated him.
Well,
they're burning his jerseys, and he still went back, and he won a chip for him.
I was talking to our friend Paul Casanova about the whole Dan Hurley thing and how whether he believed he'd be a good NBA coach because of his sideline antics. And I kind of sat there and I went, look, coaches are boring. They're supposed to be boring. So the camera kind of, if they catch you in a exuberant mood, right, then that's what they show. But I said, he's a big Denver Nuggets fan. And I said, I don't think Hurley's much different than Mike Malone.
No.
You see Malone at press conferences? I mean, he's 4 words away from Bobby Knight. He is. He's like, Well, how'd you guys play today? Play like shit. Next question. Sir. No, but like that's how he is. And I think that the NBA is leaning more 90s now than ever. I think they've listened to the fans. The fans are like, I don't want to watch 145 to 139. I think they're leaning more 90s. So if they're leaning more 90s, then you're also looking for a grittier coach, a more substance, more defense, a little bit toughness. You know, your Thibodeaus, I think they're looking that way. And the Lakers have recognized it, and they went, hey, man, if we can get Dan Hurley. I mean, they didn't even offer him 10 years, $100 million. They offered him 8 years. I know you hate it.
I do. But I mean, you know, if he goes there, he goes there. Like I said, I just don't see it working. I just don't. But that's
I'm gonna buy you a Lakers shirt.
I personally think, and a perfect situation would be JJ.
Can I buy you a Lakers shirt if Dan goes there?
No. No.
What if it was a UConn shirt with the dog wearing Laker colors?
No. You've known me for how long? I will never wear another team's anything.
I'm a
Warriors fan
on the planet.
Warriors fan, UConn fan. I will not wear another color. So
the Warriors should go get Dan Hurley now. That's what they should do.
No, you leave Steve Kerr where he's at.
Man up, Warriors. Go get Steve Kerr's gonna be the GM. He'll still be there.
Yeah. No, the GM is the owner's son. Nepotism at its most.
Oh God. Oh, we're not gonna go there.
Listen, he earned it a little bit, but I'm just saying I mean, come on, Bob Meyer. Like you're going from Bob Meyer to like your kid. Like, are you serious? Like Bob Meyer's one of the greatest GMs of our lifetime.
Maybe Bob Meyer left because he felt the breathing down his neck anyway.
It's a possibility.
Nepotism.
Okay.
Speaking of nepotism, that's a perfect word as we shift to our second topic today, which is Caitlin Clark is being left off of the Olympic team for the women's squad. What are your first points?
My first thought actually is, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Jealousy? I don't know what else to think of. Like, I don't know. I have why? Not just the you don't want her there for the ratings. That's fine. Like she's gonna bring you ratings. I understand you want to win a gold medal, but she's unreal in scoring. She could play defense. Like, you're telling me everybody on that squad is better than her?
Let's say they are. Let's say everyone that got that spot is better than Caitlin Clark.
All 12.
Every single one.
Bottom.
No, top to bottom. They're all better.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't once upon a time Christian Laettner win a gold medal with the Dream Team?
Dream Team, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm sure there were a couple players in the NBA that could have been a part of that squad that were, I don't know, better than a kid coming out of college.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
And JJ won with the redemption team.
Okay. Didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, when he was with Duke, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah,
so I mean, Laettner was at his peak.
Yeah.
He was coming into the league. He didn't belong on the Dream Team.
No.
I know. He was only basically a bench guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I understand that. Caitlin can't serve as a bench ambassador for the WNBA?
Yeah.
The other thing, too, is yes, she should get the opportunity. But I think that she's serving quite possibly the Isaiah Thomas role right now. Nobody likes her.
Yeah.
And there was a vote, and they said absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real thing. That's a real
story. I agree. I agree.
You know, the animosity that she's dealing with is far greater than the baskets that she can't make, or the screens that she's dealing with, or, you know, the lack of real teammates. I mean, that team she gets thrown on the ground almost 5 times a game.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say the Indiana Fever were a good basketball team. They're garbage people. Like, stick up for your teammate. I just don't understand the fact that, she's in the league. You were flying coach 10 minutes ago, and now you get a real plane. Thank you. And we're gonna stick up for you.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to a direction that a lot of people stay away from, but I think it's a real thing, and I think it's something that we should talk about.
Okay.
Because I've heard I wish I remembered his name. The big guy on ESPN, big beard, basketball guy. Perkins used a race card with her called said white girl. Is it because she's white? I'm going to come out and say it. Is it because she's white and she's coming into a league and she's bringing in viewers and everybody's jealous of it?
I mean, I don't know, because, the best WNBA player to this date is Diana Taurasi. She's white.
Yeah.
I don't think it leans any which way. I just think that what the WNBA has made a mistake of is comparing themselves to men's, which is why I did it with the Olympic team. If the men's basketball team was smart enough and knew that they had all these guys, they had Jordan, but they had a lot of guys on the way out. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, right? Larry Bird, definitely. If they were going to replace a Larry Bird face with a Christian Laettner, they knew how to do it and when. Right? Oh, he was on the dream team. He was on a bench. You can move that face right into there. Whoever the head of marketing is for the WNBA, when they get fired, and you will, you don't deserve another job. Not as the guy who sets up the hot dog stand at Costco. Brother, I love hot dogs, but you would set up that stand on August 25th, not the 4th of July, because you're dumb.
But why wouldn't you market Caitlin Clark? You've seen what she did for women's college basketball from the semis to the Elite Eight, from the semis to the Final Four to the Elite Eight. I mean, she brought in record number of viewers. Record. So why wouldn't you do the same thing? Why wouldn't you try to capitalize that if you are marketing the WNBA? You definitely should. But you don't want to do it by separating the other players. You want them involved too, of course. But your cash cow right now for viewers, and it's showing, everybody's turning in for her games, is Caitlin Clark. That's your cash cow right now. Capitalize on it. Well, you got a TV deal coming up.
I wonder if it's the NBA a little bit too. Right, because as long as we're going to go out on limbs here, right? Let's play all the branches. Okay, the funding from the WNBA comes from the NBA.
Oh yeah, they subsidized that league. Period.
Okay, so
they've been doing it since its inception.
I don't want the WNBA to get ratings. We have the playoffs going on right now. Get her beat up and killed. Yeah, we want her talked about. Get her beat up and killed, and then when the NBA season's off, give her an easy schedule. We're the one paying for it. I'm just saying, it's something to think about.
It's something to think about, but I mean, they're still getting massive coverage with her getting killed, but it's just bad coverage.
That's right. It's not a standalone league is my thing, right? So, we've been in the restaurant industry forever. There's a difference between standalone restaurants and restaurants that need movie theaters next to it, or a mall, if you will.
Yeah.
And right now, the WNBA is a restaurant that needs a movie theater near it.
Yeah.
We're still talking about her.
That's because the women and and I know we're both huge stand-up comedians, but there's been a couple comedians, special Bill Burr, says women don't support your own league. Like when we watch a WNBA game, and I don't want to be sexist or anything, but 60 to 70% of those fans all should be women, and those seats should be filled with women. They're so quickly to blame men for their shortcomings as far as marketing, as far as being paid. The women need to start filling those stands. Support your league.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's see. Who would I hire if I was the WNBA? Okay, I would hire two people. I would hire one of the marketing people from the WWE because they do a good job. They sell a sport that's not a sport as a sport.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll do that again. They sell a sport as a sport that is not a sport.
Yeah. Yep.
Pretty well.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
well. WWE does a fantastic job. And how about this? Whoever was in charge of marketing the Williams sisters in tennis. Okay? Because you did a fantastic job. Right? I don't even love or like, but I turn it on. I go, I'll watch Venus play a couple sets. I'll watch Serena. Yep. Who's their cousin? What? I care about their cousin? I shouldn't care about their cousin, but I went, she looks a little bit like she's taller like Venus. You shouldn't have me doing that.
Yeah.
But you did because you're good at it. Find some people that want you to be a standalone business. Hire them and then stand alone.
Yeah.
Put out, men, what they do is they showcase their dunks and, they showcase the 3-point line. I'm shooting from 30 feet away. They do that. Sometimes in sports, women shy away from their strengths, right? They want to compare themselves to guys. I got news, ladies. You're way prettier than us.
Way pretty.
Well, I mean, by miles.
Yeah.
Like, even if guys put on make, right? Like, they look like Motley Crue. It's a joke.
Yeah.
You're prettier. So showcase that. Sell calendars with you at a basketball or whatever dressed up. It works. I think there are ways to market the league, and it's not being taken advantage of.
It's the old time saying is sex sells. Plain and simple, it does. Yeah. I know we're living in a woke era right now, but it still holds to this day. Sex sells.
You got to wake up every day, So we've been living in a woke era since the dawn of time, right? So if you don't woke, we can't be doing this.
It definitely is a travesty that she has left off that team. We all know. Even the players know it. I think they're trying to send a clear message to her. And I'd like to know why. I know she's a big trash talker. She was a trash talker in college. I know she has to be now. But I'd really like to know behind the scenes, like, what's the animosity? What is it?
I think it is a little bit of the Isaiah Thomas thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Isaiah Thomas would smile at you, right? With that forget like that Magic Johnson, or even, I know he's a weird guy. Bill Cosby had a great smile.
Yeah.
But he's a prick.
Yeah.
Right. He'd smile at you after he threw a punch in your face. Like I've watched some of the Caitlin Clark. She pushed a girl and then said something to her, and then barked to her some more, and then barked to her some more. And as the inbounds play came in, the girl threw her to the ground. And then she goes to the press conference and she's like, yeah, we're just it's just basketball. It's nothing personal. It's just competition. And I'm like, you know what? If you watch the full play and you don't clip it, I would have thrown you to the ground too. You would have caught one.
Where most people had the problem with, if she did it during a basketball play, people wouldn't have a problem with it. The problem was it wasn't during a basketball play. Like the ball wasn't even in bounds yet.
But Caitlin's wasn't either.
Like she just came over and shoved her right to the ground. I think I know which one you're talking about. It's the one when she was in college, right?
No.
Oh, I'm talking about. I seen one when she was in college where like she literally like went over. It was top of the 3-point line and bulldozed this girl over, and pretty much stood over her like, "What are you gonna do?"
No, this is the WNBA game. It was a couple weeks ago, and she pushed this girl, almost like Reggie Miller pushed Mike when Mike flipped out on him that play. But she pushed her running up the court, started barking. They got down into the corner, she's barking some more, and I'm just like, okay, I'll watch the rest of the play. And she just kept, and so it went to the ball was out of bounds, and this girl she stood there, and Caitlin stood right on her hip, like right next to her. Almost like a batter crowding the plate. Those batters get hit.
Oh yeah.
And dude, she just, so I don't know whether she was barking some more or whispered something or just kind of patted her. She threw her to the ground. And I just like, what you guys see is the fact that the woman was thrown to the ground.
You don't see the other stuff. What you should be
paying attention to is the 45-second span. Because I think the problem with Isaiah Thomas is that he'd punch you and then smile at you. He was a little disingenuous.
Yeah.
And I think she is really teetering on that line.
And
right? So, very nice. So she's a sweet Iowa girl. No, I don't think she is.
No, she's a scrappy ass Iowa girl is what she is. Very scrappy. We've seen it in college.
She would fit in Amish country, wouldn't she? Yeah.
I just
and the mallet that she's making the milk with and the yolk, she'd smash it with it. And then go, I don't know, she fell over. What?
I do want to come out and say that Caitlin Clark is not coming out complaining or bitching about any of this. The media is talking about it. We are talking about it. Caitlin Clark isn't coming out and saying, I don't know why they're picking on me. She's not saying that in the least bit.
I think she knows.
She knows why.
I think she knows why they're doing it.
Yeah.
I think she's being disingenuous. Isaiah Thomas is like, what? We didn't shake hands. Well, excuse me. For the past couple of years, all you did was kill the man.
Yeah.
And then after you lose one, you just walk off the court. I mean, Bill Laimbeer should have been hit with felonies. That's if you did any of the stuff that he did to Michael Jordan off the basketball court, you're arrested. I want to make that perfectly clear. You're going to jail.
Yeah.
But, I think Caitlin Clark's not complaining because if she was mic'd up.
Oh, yeah. Because they even say that she's one of the best trash talkers out there.
Yeah, start comparing her to Larry Bird, but not the three-point shot, please.
Yeah, Larry Bird was one of the best trash talkers.
That's what I'm saying.
He'd just say anything to get under your skin.
Once upon a time when I was many years younger, right, in my household, somebody would, one of us kids, right, they would complain, oh my God, so-and-so hit me. And like the one time, my brother ran to my dad. He's like, oh, Jack just hit me. And he goes, yeah, I watched you hit him first, though. So I'm proud of him. Get away from me. And he meant it. And my brother was like, damn, this is how this works. This is how this, wow, he really saw me hit him first. And now he won't even defend me. The bigger monkey's not sticking up for me. I better not hit him first. See, you're going to start learning some things because if the whistles go silent, maybe you'll stop shoving first.
I'm not saying what she's getting she deserves either. I mean, they all talk trash. Let's anybody that has played any type of competitive sport or competitive anything knows that there's trash talking. I mean, you don't even need to be competitive. I mean, you play a video game, play Call of Duty. All right, then you'll hear some major trash talking. Actually, you might go deaf.
What's the greatest, because you're the old gamer GK, right? What's the greatest trash talk back and forth that you've ever gone through? I don't care about how old the kid was.
Probably 10-year-old. I told him Santa wasn't real.
No, you didn't.
Oh God, he had me so pissed. A little squeaker. We call him squeakers. I told 10-year-old Santa's not real. Yeah,
he should know. At 10, he should.
He had me red. I'm sure there's a video somewhere on my YouTube channel that shows it. And he had me so pissed off. I'm like, shut up. Do you know Santa's not real?
First of all, he should have known, but I'm just saying, you didn't know he was 10 either. He could have been 8.
Listen, he could have been 8. I'm saying 10 because plainly he had a squeaky voice, so his nuts didn't drop. So he definitely, oh, yeah. I'm telling you, the adults, there's just a little trash talking. We trash talk like normal adults, but those kids, man, they get under your skin.
That's how you know we're getting old, right? Those damn kids, pesky kids.
Get off my lawn.
Oh my God, seriously. Don't get off my lawn. It's not your lawn. You didn't pay for it. It's not even us. It's the job that makes us angry about it. I made that lawn beautiful after I worked all day.
That's right. I'm gonna get
Gives
the
you
hose out,
right to
spray you.
stand on it. To get your dog off my lawn. Oh, he's peeing
Well,
again.
yeah, dog's a little different. I like dogs, so.
I know, but they have to get up. They can't just pee on your lawn. That's what they do.
Yeah, kills it. All right.
All
So,
right.
yeah, the Caitlin Clark thing. So we both think what final decision on this? I think she's
Okay.
getting a raw
So
deal.
my point is, I think that she knows that she deserves some of it. I think that she's looking to referees that she used to be able to cry wolf a little bit to, and they're not giving her that.
All right, I'm talking as far as being left off. Fair, non-fair, not fair?
Incredibly stupid.
Okay. I totally agree. Totally agree
Incredibly
with it.
stupid.
Dumb, dumb, dumb. She is one of the best players in the league. Even as a rookie.
If you want to leave Isaiah Thomas off, fine. But you better have a Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Where's their Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
That's the problem here. You got to have a guy if you're going to go, hey, you know what? Top 2, top 3 point guard in the league. We don't need him. That was my thoughts.
Gotcha. All right. I agree. I agree 100%. Quick question. Wasn't there a horse race yesterday? No.
There was.
Belmont?
Belmont.
Anything exciting on that front? Not really.
So a couple fun things. So Jason Worth used to play for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Okay.
And now he owns a horse that has won a Belmont.
Okay. All right.
That's kind of cool. Door Notch is the name of the horse. He's been a fine horse. No world beater. You know, he's won a couple fun races. And this is probably the pinnacle of what he's accomplished so far.
Okay.
I don't think he does much more. But it is nice, you know, because Jason Worth was at the Kentucky Derby. Dornach didn't have a great trip, and then he didn't run the Preakness, but you could tell he really loves it. He's one of those guys that he's probably hanging out in the stable, reading the horse, books about how to get faster as a horse. I don't know, but you can tell he really enjoys all of it. Bringing the hay out or part of the training. He just enjoys it. And so it was nice for him and this horse to get a victory. I didn't really, there wasn't, it's not a Triple Crown race, right? It wasn't a horse going for, the Triple Crown. There wasn't good enough horses this year. I thought Sierra Leone would have done a little bit better. But that horse is clearly out of gas. Some of the pedigree, but not necessarily skill, not athletic enough. Had closing speed, but didn't have enough speed to win any of the races. So you're not, you can say, well, I had a great horse. You didn't. You didn't win not one of them. Mystic Dan won the Kentucky Derby, probably an aberration. Little lucky.
Gotcha.
Oh, we found out. This is what I found out about Mystic Dan, though. I thought was kind of cool. And you guys have the baseball team up there. They're called Rail Riders.
Yes.
So in the Preakness, or in the Kentucky Derby when Mystic Dan won, the rider, the jockey said that, he was so close to the rail that I can almost feel my boot touching it. And I thought that was interesting because in the Preakness, he was on the rail but he needed to get off and up and around. And when he got off away from the rail, he was he didn't like being in with the pack. So he got back onto the rail, but obviously now he's in 5th and 6th place. And I went, oh my God, he's a rail rider. He got on the rail. It was so crazy. I went, oh my God, he's got no chance because there were 3 horses already on the rail. And he's like, where's my turn? This is my spot. I got to get in there, guys. And he just couldn't. It was hilarious.
Nice.
Oh, we learned.
All right. Well, what else we got here? We got the NBA Finals.
Yes. Oh, the finals are here.
Game 2 tonight, right?
Game 2 is tonight. 8 o'clock, I believe. Tip.
Yes. Yep. Thoughts on first game. Thoughts on. Well, let's give our thoughts on the first game first before we give any predictions.
I thought the media was lying to people again.
Okay.
I did. No, because them sitting there going, I think Dallas, or I think Nick Wright said it and Chris Broussard. I don't know which one takes turns being right or wrong, but to sit there and believe what you said, like I can take the Boston bench and probably win 2 games against Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to understand, like Al Horford comes off the bench. He's not a starter, but he's got all of this experience. 2 national titles at Florida. He's been to the finals a couple times here. I think that 1 through 5, it's close. But as far as 5 through 9, Boston. I mean, who's got Porzingis? Nobody. And I thought Missoula was really smart, their coach, by bringing him off the bench. So what you do when you bring a player off the bench is you're not saying, especially at this level, you're not saying he's a bench player. You're saying, hey, if he's got a little bit of an injury and he's an A+ player, we'll put him up against a bunch of B- guys. That's not even an insult, by the way. A B- bench player
strategy.
in the NBA.
And you're playing strategy. You're playing to the strength then.
So he got him hot, and then he got tired. And what was interesting is Porzingis is always going to be himself. That's what I loved about him in New York. And when they started pushing him around, feeling him out, knowing that he was tired, Porzingis pushed back, and he made a 3, and then he made 2 2s in a row. And I go, you guys better stop pushing the tree. Because he gets angry. So now, even though he's tired, his adrenaline's like, bro, I'll elbow you right in the face and make a shot. And he did. I'm not, here's what I like tonight. In case you guys are wondering, it's 6.5. I think that spread's probably closer to where it should be. I would take the Dallas Mavericks at 10.5. I don't think they win tonight.
You don't think the Mavs win?
No, because the problem is that you have Luka who does everything, and you need a great shooter. And Kyrie's not a great shooter. He's streaky. He's not Steph Curry. So don't do that. Everybody, look at his ball handling. It's fine.
Yeah, his ball handling's one of the best in the NBA. He's a great ball handler. He's not a shooter. Like I do agree, he is a streaky shooter, but no, his ball handling second to none in the NBA. I'll say. Luka will not have 1 assist again. He will get everybody involved more. I think it was a lot of people wanted to put game 1 on Kyrie. I think it was a team loss. The whole team didn't play very well. They look flat. No ball movement at all. You've seen a lot of try and ISO plays. Celtics are the ones, surprisingly, that move the ball well. They're usually the ones that play a lot of ISO ball with their stars, but they were moving the ball very, very well. So I think you're going to see a difference in this game tonight. I think the Mavs are going to move the ball a lot better. I think Kyrie's going to play or shoot the ball better, and I think Luka will get everybody involved a lot more. That 1 assist, that's not him. He's usually up around 8 to double digits assists.
I thought Jason Tatum, despite he didn't score 30 points. Who cares? Who cares?
He didn't need a Porzingis was going off.
Yeah, but I think he gave you 11 rebounds. So I thought the 11 rebounds were more value to the team than him just jacking shots, when they were focused on him. They were bringing 2 guys at him, just move the ball and try to get a rebound. I liked the fact that he didn't become, stagnant. He didn't stop moving when he wasn't scoring. Hey, listen, this is a machine here. All moving parts. Horford started out the game on fire. And then the ball moved around. Jaylen Brown is probably a better one-on-one player than Tatum. He's stronger. But that's fine because it allows Tatum to do other things. Tatum, I'm not saying that Jaylen Brown is Michael Jordan, but I'm saying Tatum has a better ability to live in the Scottie Pippen mold. And because he's got a 7'1" wingspan. Be a great defender then. No one's got 7'1". So you can guard PJ Washington and Tim Hardaway Jr. when they come off the bench. And as long as you have the energy to do so, How are they going to beat us? I think the time when Boston played the Warriors in the finals and lost, I think they were trying to be things they weren't. And Golden State went, we're going to kill you that way.
Yeah.
We know what we are. Now Boston goes, we know what we are. You guys are still trying to figure out how to play. We're not.
But does that old Boston team still creep in? That team that doesn't move the ball. We see it. We've seen it with Boston the last 5 years. Good team. They have 2 or 3 games where they move the ball very, very well. They win those games, and then they have a bunch of games where they just stand around.
A little. So it does a little bit, but I think they kind of scared themselves out of it.
Okay.
Because they from time to time, you're right, they do that. But I think they scared themselves out of it when they were like, guys, the Pacers are playing basketball here. Like they scared themselves straight. You know, they went, we can. I think Drew Holiday is the real adult in the room.
Oh, I agree.
So now you have an adult in the room. You know, now you have, and sure, you know, people could talk about, Kyrie was on but he's not. Kyrie is maybe the greatest Robin of all time. But he doesn't want to be barking out defensive orders.
No.
You know, and he's having fun in Dallas because Jason Kidd allows him to be himself. For better or worse. By the way, he shot like garbage last game. Like, I will take me and you and go, hey, you know, we might be able to take Kyrie Irving and horse. He doesn't shoot
that one game. Just that one game.
But it's fine. But you know, he's got great handles. Yes, he does. But here's what they don't tell you about Kyrie Irving. And I thought this was interesting. I was watching pregame shoot around because I like doing boring things to get information. Right? That's how you get information. And I watched the trainer throw the ball to Kyrie Irving, and he caught it with his left hand. And I watched the trainer throw it to him again, left hand again. Kyrie Irving's actually left-handed. But he was taught to shoot right-handed. So that's what they're not telling you. What they're not telling you is that, Kyrie up with his left. Boy, he's so good with that left hand. Yeah, because he's left-handed. Because when he was a boy, he learned to shoot layups with his left hand. And then somebody in his camp got a hold of him and goes, hey, you're going to shoot righty. Because that's what they want is a right-handed shooter. Which is why he's not a great shooter. But with that left in a layup, he's unstoppable. That's a little interesting. I'm into interesting.
The good thing always the great thing about Kyrie was his handling, and he could create a shot.
Yeah.
So
what are your predictions?
My prediction is I think the Mavs win tonight. I think last game that wasn't who the Mavs were. I think they were flat. I think they were tired. Or not tired, just flat. They had plenty of rest. Yeah, I just think they were flat. And I think the Celtics came out to punch somebody in the face game 1. I really did. You know, the way they were playing, they pretty much looked unstoppable the way they were playing. But I think the Mavs come out. It's a gut feeling. This isn't a bet your house bet.
Did he say it? Did you say it?
This is a gut feeling. Yeah, I said it. This is a gut feeling. I think the Mavs win.
It's a bet your house?
No, it is not a bet your house.
Not a bet your house. Okay,
it's a not bet your house pick. This is a bet that I have where I have no substance to it except for a gut feeling.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to get the ear in. You know, I wanted to make sure that we weren't. You know,
now where a bet your house pick will come into play is if the Mavs do lose this game. Game 3, they will not lose.
Yeah, I love that because, you know, everybody in Boston right now in you know, seamstress shops and factories all throughout Boston, what they're doing is they're, you know, they're needling the next banner. That's what they're doing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But the way Dallas looks at this is if we can win this game, then we go back home. We actually go up 2-1.
Yeah.
And so they shot 6 for 31, by the way, from 3-point line.
Yeah. You think that they're going to do that again? No.
I'll tell you what. Find whatever the 3-point over under is. Take the over.
Over. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a bet your house.
Yeah.
Because what's it going to be at 9.5?
Yeah.
I'll bet your house. I don't even want to bet mine. No, I'm saying like that's what I would do. I would take that and I wouldn't even blink at that because it's going to be way lower than it should be. And you're right. Let's see what happens when, and I'm seeing it right in my head right now. Let's see what happens when Dallas is up 16-9.
Mm-hmm.
See what kind of Boston team you are.
Yeah.
Do you start holding the ball? Does this guy stop moving? Does it become all one-on-one basketball like we kind of saw in that third quarter when Dallas got back into it?
Yeah. Yep. And we've seen it multiple times, not just with this Celtic team, but with multiple Celtics teams. I mean, that's one of the reasons why they lost to Golden State was because of the type of basketball they were playing. They weren't playing the same type of basketball they were playing during the regular season. It is so hard to win anything except for a regular season game playing ISO basketball. It just is.
Unless you're Michael Jordan, then you just
then just forget about it. I mean, but it's the greatest of all time.
I love people and their internet math. Here's internet math for you. Ready? Luka Doncic is a better basketball player than Michael Jordan because he's averaging 34.2 points a game in these playoffs, and Michael Jordan in that year or whatever year it was only averaging 33.5. That's great internet math, right? But here's reality. Here's actual math. This is the math that'll make you money in the world. Michael Jordan was scoring that many points when they only scored 91 a game.
Yeah.
93 a game, 89 a game.
Mm-hmm.
Luka Doncic is scoring those many points when they average 117 a game.
So also Jordan averaged them when you were able to clothesline somebody and get away with it.
That's true.
So that's
true. But so if we were really going to compare them, what you want to compare is percentages.
Yeah.
How much percentage of points of your team scoring are you doing? Not assisting on, but how much are you doing? And the fact of the matter is that he would need to average an extra 10 points. So 40-ish for that number to matter, which is why they say that's what Jordan would average. And that was your math class of the day, everyone.
Oh, I didn't know we were going back to school, but appreciate the math lesson.
It drives me crazy. You know what I'm saying? It drives me crazy.
I get it. It's really hard to really debate errors. It really is. Just because of rule changes.
There's no reason to do it. I like this Mavericks seems fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Am I rooting for them to win tonight? I'd like to see a fun finals.
Mm-hmm.
And if they go down 2-0, it's not really fun.
Yeah.
It's less fun. Like even Celtics fans would have to admit that's less fun.
Yeah.
They won't because they're, crazy in Boston, but
if you would have hit me up last year with this question, I would have been like Celtics because of Kyrie, because I did not like Kyrie. I thought he was a selfish player. I didn't like his demeanor. There are multiple reasons why I did not like Kyrie. This year, watching him, listening to his press conferences, he's fun again. He reminds me of like the first couple years he was with the Cavs. He's fun again. He's loose. Like you said, Jason Kidd's letting him be him. He's not pigeonholing him into a certain area. He's letting him do his thing. And I think he's able to grow as a person a little bit this year. And I'm liking him again. So I'm kind of rooting for the Mavs.
Once upon a time, I don't know who said this, but a teacher without a classroom is a crazy person. Because what they're constantly trying to do is give you information that you don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
That's Caddyshack reference, man. Thanks. or that's, I understand that that's a math percentage, but I didn't ask for that. You're just a crazy person trying to give people information. That's what he was in Boston.
Yeah.
That's what he was in Brooklyn. He was just a crazy person trying to give people information. And now he's found someone who's willing to listen, which is Luka Doncic. Luka cares about some of the information for which Kyrie's given him. And I think that to find somebody that wants to sit in your classroom, whether it be, just learning a little bit about life or a little bit more about basketball or how that guy's playing you. I think it's meant a lot. I know that he gets a bad rap for Cleveland, but let's be quite honest. LeBron James wanted Chris Paul. The agencies were working out a deal. So for him to say, I can't believe you would leave LeBron James. No. I only leave you when you forget about my value. That's what he did. Was it a perfect landing spot? No. But you know what? I think he would have been happier playing basketball in hell than staying in Cleveland.
Oh, absolutely.
And having to deal with, you think you're smarter than me? Brother, you didn't go to, I went to Duke University. Then he went to Boston, and people didn't really invite him. Again, he didn't find anybody to really teach. And then he went to Brooklyn, and we know what kind of mess Brooklyn's been. Financially and management-wise, too, by the way. So, he's not a crazy person because he has a couple guys sitting in his classroom. I think PJ Washington sits and listens to him. And it's not, people, but just sit and listen to somebody every once in a while, because if you do that, they might not go crazy.
Yeah. And it's one of those things, like, I always like to try to listen to everybody's point, and give it an honest listen to, even if I don't agree with it. He was just coming up with some off the wall stuff, though. It was like he was going, like you said, he was going crazy.
Let's see how much stuff I can say, and when people start paying attention to me.
Yeah. But when they're when the media starts talking more about what you're saying as opposed to your play, there's something wrong.
Well, I mean, or he was playing a game. He was playing.
It's a strong possibility.
How fast can I get me out of here?
Look at he's the one that wanted it, though. He's the one that wanted the Nets thing. Him, Kevin Durant. I forget. They brought in a team.
They brought in Harden, and again, Durant's not a winner anywhere.
No, except with the Warriors.
Well, but that's the Warriors. Right. So, it's almost the Brady Belichick conversation. Right. Well, but we both kind of did together.
Yeah.
Right. At the end of the day, like, Durant was a nice added piece to the Warriors.
He was a piece, correct. And that's what Durant is. He's not a Steph. He's not an Anthony Edwards. He's not those guys. He's a Robin. He's a Robin.
Well, and he's not a tone setter either. Like no. If you watched a lot of Phoenix, Kevin Durant could open up the game with 10 straight points every game, and doesn't.
This quote alone tells you Durant's mindset. He was asked, who is the leader of the Phoenix Suns? He goes, the coach. That a direct quote from him, the coach. So right there, that tells you all you need to know about Durant.
Well, they got a new coach.
Well, yeah. New leader.
Bud doesn't mess around. I think Bradley Beal's a piece. I think Devin Booker's a nice player. He doesn't play defense. I will stand on the fact that the Phoenix Suns play much better basketball when Grayson Allen's on the court.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I think he's way more valuable than Bradley Beal. And given more responsibilities, I think that, they can get I would move on from Bradley Beal. Goodbye. Thank you. You're a nice shooting guard, but you don't do anything else.
Yeah.
Right. When you're missing those 3-point shots, you're not very good. And, he doesn't play great defense. So what do you do for us? If the answer is nothing, then it is nothing. I'd move him for maybe a power forward.
Okay.
That can get Durant back to a small forward spot. And maybe, hey, here's a great idea. I know he's not good or anything, but how about draft Zach Edey? Listen, Zach Edey is tough and gets you size. All the things that Durant doesn't get. Well, he's tall. That's not size.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
size
that's
is
totally
knock
different.
you over.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
size is
thickness,
chest out.
something. Yes. Like a
Draymond Green's
Green.
not tall.
Yes.
He's got
Yeah.
size.
He got size. Correct. Yes.
So that's
Yep.
what I'm talking about when we talk about that, right? Like I need a guy, you know, we were talking about him from Cleveland, right? Jared Allen, size.
Yeah. Yep.
Real
Now,
size.
what is it with certain franchises? Like, even when the Suns, if you go back to even the Kevin Nash days, when they were good back then, that franchise just never plays defense. What is it?
Well, you know, again, I think that the franchise tends to mimic the area for which the fans live in, right? So that whole Phoenix Suns team was real fast, scoring, running, all that stuff. If you notice, so was that Dallas Mavericks team. Well, it doesn't get cold there, so we just got to take advantage of the heat. We just got to take advantage of the dry air. You know, the different climate. Well, how are we going to do that? We're going to run them out of the building. You know, and the Nuggets don't so much do that, but they do it with power. Right? So the Nuggets, that's how they've been living. The Jazz used to do it with power, not run you out of the building. So it all depends. You know, Salt Lake's a tough town. Not, you know, don't bring your gun, but it's a tougher, you know, it's a working class.
Yes.
Right. So the Philadelphia 76ers don't run you out of the building because they want to prove that they're a working class blue collar town. That's what I think it's about.
Okay. All right.
Mimicking their environment.
Because I mean it's multiple errors at Phoenix. If you go back and just go through each team each year, none of them played defense. They all were very, you know, high scoring, high powered offenses, and that's about it.
You know, if you think about it, right? Think about an event, right? So you're getting to the arena, right? It's what, 100 degrees. The arena is cold, right? Because you're trying to get everybody else comfortable and acclimated. Well, by the way, you got to get your athletes ready for how chilly it is. Run them.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a little bit of that. We saw some of that with remember the San Antonio Spurs Miami Heat series where Pop was like, oh, the air conditioning's broke. So let me tell a story about Popovich real quick. Popovich was almost we almost never got to know him. Greg Popovich was going CIA. He was turning in all of his stuff. Turning in all of his credibility, all of his paperwork, all this stuff. And he got a call to be an assistant, I believe. I think it was the assistant for the Spurs. And, you know, he looked at his wife and he's like, I could do this, right? And she goes, yeah, would you please just kind of be a coach? So when I heard that the air conditioning broke when LeBron James is coming to town, you knew that Popovich knew that his athletic ability was taken down a notch because a bigger man doesn't sweat as well. That's CIA shit, folks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know, think he doesn't have it. He does.
We all love Pop. You have to.
Who doesn't love their Pop?
Yeah.
All right, we'll finish with baseball, right?
Yes, baseball.
Finish with baseball for the
big
day.
Games, yesterday. Big games yesterday happened. Some big games happened yesterday.
Yeah, a lot of fun stuff.
Right.
So, you know, baseball is getting some things right. It's taken them a while, but they're starting to get things right.
They still need to be marketed better, but just like the WNBA. But yeah, you're right. They're starting to do things right.
You know, they took advantage of a famous movie, you know, and so they're having a Field of Dreams game every year. Hey, that's a great idea. Now they played a game between the Phillies and the Mets in London. And that's important really because the Mets aren't a good baseball team.
No.
So what you're doing is you're maximizing a franchise that's really fun right now in the Phillies. You're facing them against their a rival in division.
A rival. Yeah. A big rival too.
That you know they can beat. So you're selling the Phillies overseas at a great time because they're not going to be this great forever. I thought it was a good move. Now the Mets have a nice squad, but they're just not putting bats on balls.
Yeah.
That's what some teams are struggling with right now. You know, right, the team that's struggling the most with it right now, Minnesota Twins.
Yeah.
I'm a big Twins fan. I think they're a fantastic franchise. But right now, they've lost 5 straight, and it's not due to pitching. I mean, they're losing games 3-0, 4-0 in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah.
They got a couple guys on. They can't get them home. I don't know. You know, sometimes baseball's a funny game. You know, if you put the bubble gum on the back of your cap, right, and you get a hit that day, that's the cap you're riding with.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Very superstitious.
Yep.
You know, black cats and all that stuff. You know, same socks for 10 days if you're hitting the ball. No, I mean, it's a real thing.
Listen, you don't need to tell me because I'm the same person. When the Niners are on a win streak, I wear the same thing down to the underwear and socks of that previous Sunday.
You hear that, ladies?
I'm just saying, I do.
I'm just making sure everyone's listening. That's all I'm doing. I want to make sure that everybody heard that if the Niners won 5 in a row,
my socks and drawers are getting a little stanky.
Same where he's praying for a loss. Is that what you're doing? Are you praying for a loss?
No, never. I wear those stinky drawers all the way up 16 games in a row, 17 games in a row.
I hope the Niners open with 10 straight. I really do. That would be fantastic. Now that we know that, that'd be really cool.
All right.
But you know, they're doing great things. The Phillies are the best team in baseball, and they have. By the way, we talked about this early because they were playing so well. Then the Yankees, you know, were the best team for a couple games, and now the Phillies have retaken that spot back. So basically, they've been the best team in baseball for a full month.
Oh yeah.
But Jack, it does matter. For a full month is you're doing something.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I thought it was great. Bryce Harper hit a home run yesterday, and he did like a soccer slide in the London Stadium. And it's great because Bryce Harper knows where they are, what they're doing, how to gain fans. He's a bright spot for the league.
Yes. He's making it fun.
He's making it fun. I thought there was a great banner for the Phillies, and it was just funny, right? Don't kill me. But it was a really fun banner that was hung, and it says they were right on the bridge, and it said "Muck the Fets." Muck the Fets. I thought that was funny. We all know what they meant.
Yeah.
But it said "Muck the Fets," and I thought that was funny. And the Grump, or not the Grump, I'm sorry, the Grump is from our area, but you know, the Philly Fanatic was standing as part of the London people. It's fantastic for baseball. They're doing a great job. I think it's awesome, and it's only a 2-game series, but I think it's a large step in the right direction.
Oh yeah, I think the Major League is learning something from other sports. Is they're letting their stars shine. They're letting them be themselves. Do a little something. What was that? Who was that? Tatis, like 3-4 years ago. He tried doing that, and Major League was giving him crap for it. And that's what the league needs. They need those individuals, those guys that we're going to tune in to watch, see what they're going to do.
I agree 100%. Yeah. I mean, finally, you know, they're capitalizing on their stars.
Yes, absolutely.
If you don't have any stars,
instead of just being baseball. You know, we're baseball. Let's hold our nose up. We're better than all the other sports, you know?
Well, I think what happened was, you know, and this is just speculation, but I think they fired a bunch of people that were not doing well and not able to push the brand.
A bunch of old heads is who they fired. A bunch of guys that was entrenched in there that was too blinded by the new age stuff happening. They were still stuck in the past.
I think what happened is they fired a bunch of people that were not able to capitalize on their stars, and you know they brought in some people that do much better in that area, probably social media people, because social media people know how to push a brand. Yes. And I think what happened was those guys that were fired have now been hired for the WNBA. That's what I think happened. And that's what I said. Let me, and I think so now the WNBA is going, wait, you guys promised this baseball shit wasn't going to happen here. It's a good story.
It's absolutely. I think you nailed it though with that whole hiring like social media people. I remember when they first started offering that as a college major, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Like this is dumb, dumb." But now that I see where social media is going, um, it's smart. Why wouldn't you hire a social media person? Like they know exactly what to push and how to push it this day and age. This is no longer let's throw a commercial out, let's throw a billboard out, and let's throw it on the radio type of era. That's not how it is anymore. That's how it used to be, but that's not how it is anymore. Most of the stuff is marketing online.
Yeah. Yeah. It's become, let's show them what they're going to like
Mm-hmm. Yep.
instead of putting something out there and going, maybe they'll like it.
Yeah. You know what? What's the best example of that is uh, putting out the schedule used to be something boring for the NFL. Like, all right, the schedule's released. They put their social media marketing team, every team, on building a video on how this on the schedule. There's some genius ones out there that like really brought light and like people are talking about it. So like, no, you're definitely right. What you're on to something with this social media marketing stuff. They're really they're really good. They really are.
Look at not all their kids in basements should get credence, but some of them should. Right?
Yes.
Because they found, if you could find your way to 1,000 followers, people, well, that's nothing. It's something because he's in his basement. And
Yeah.
if he could get you watching something interesting, right? He knows what's interesting, what's
Mhm.
trending,
Yes.
what direction things are moving in.
Mhm.
And I think that's really important because I think those people notice the best.
Mhm.
And might not think it's a big deal, but like, so when somebody puts in new earrings, right? Or they get their hair done or a new pair of shoes, right?
Mhm.
To compliment isn't just, hey, nice shoes, or oh, I like your new shoes, or oh, I like
Mhm.
this. It's not just doing that, right? It's recognition that they've upgraded. It's
Mhm.
recognition that they've met the day with something new,
Mhm.
different than yesterday.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
and the person that's doing the recognizing is really sitting there going, okay, oh, Debbie likes yellow. Put
Mhm.
that matters.
You
Right?
know,
If you
it
find 5 Debbies, you might be able to sell something yellow to them.
Mhm.
Huh, maybe a paper clip or maybe a hair clip or something. That's interesting.
They know how to read a public algorithm. That plain and
Yeah.
simple. That's
Yeah.
if you're gonna boil it straight down to one thing, they can read a general population's algorithm.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
you got any best bets today before we get out of here?
I do not. I do not. I got nothing as far as best bets. I told you what I think as far as I think the Mavs win tonight. It's a gut feeling. I wouldn't bet
All right,
my
so
house
make that
on
your
it,
best bet.
but that yeah, for me it would be the Mavs then. Mavs
Okay.
money line, money line. No points, money line.
Oh, you don't even want to take the points?
No money line.
Okay. Okay.
I
My
think
best
that's
bet
where
of
the
the
money
day
is.
before we get out of here is, and I like that bet, by the way. That's not about your house, but it's just the
Mhm.
best bets.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
got to bet something
I
Sunday.
got you. Got you.
Okay. My best bet. So I spoke, uh, not poorly, but I just spoke openly about how the Twins have dropped 5 games. They lost
hmm
3 in New York, and they just lost 2 to Pittsburgh. They haven't scored a run, by the way, in 2 days.
hmm
You're getting, it's plus 100, so you're getting even money. And if it was that Pirates pitcher that screen he's got a starter's mustache. Let's not confuse him with what I have here. He's got a starter's mustache, but he's not on the mound. And when he's on the mound, Pittsburgh's a little dangerous.
hmm
But he's not on the mound again. And Pittsburgh's won the past 2 games. I gotta believe that Minnesota gets off of this losing streak, whatever it is, not being able to hit the ball with runners in position. I think they get one, and you're getting even money.
hmm
By the way, it's an early game. It's a 4:30 game. So when you win that money, not if, we don't deal in ifs here. When you win that money, you're going to walk your tail over and bet the Mavericks money line.
There you go.
I mean, who's starting off a better Monday than when you watch this show?
Absolutely.
I'm just saying, I just made you guys money on Sunday.
Absolutely. One thing I wanted to touch on out of the games yesterday that was going through, one of the more fun games that I've seen in a long time was the Yankees-Dodgers game.
Oh,
Very back and forth. That was a nice game to watch. Really was. Good pitching, good hitting. Hernandez smacking the heck out of the ball. So again, I don't put too much stock in what the Dodgers do in the regular season. They always kill it in the regular season, but they end up choking it in the postseason. But they are a fun team to watch, especially with Ohtani. Like, that guy is a pleasure to watch. Pleasure.
He's fun. I just hate the Dodgers. I hate the Dodgers because I don't like their history. I don't like any of their history, actually. They were the Brooklyn Dodgers. They got up and left. Right. And they had a rebuild in Los Angeles over like people's, I guess the site where they were going to build Dodger Stadium. They had to knock down a bunch of houses where people were living in.
Wow.
No, I just the whole thing. Like I
got you. I said, I'm just saying, as far as a fun game, that was a fun game to watch yesterday.
Freddie Freeman, I like Freddie. Ohtani, I like Ohtani.
Yeah.
Mookie Betts, I like Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
But as long as we're being honest, they're not Dodgers. They're Red Sox.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean,
the
Dodgers are what the Yankees were 20 years ago. They buy up everything around, which I'm fine with. If your owner wants to spend the money, I am fine with that.
They're going to buy it up and knock your house down.
You know?
All right, they'll hit everything.
I heard you say about the Pirates and the pitcher. What was his name?
Skrene, Screen.
Okay,
he's a monster.
Yeah, the Pirates have a stable of guys that can throw 100 miles an hour. I mean, a stable right now.
They do.
I seen a stat the other day. The average pitch now for a starting pitcher is like 94 point something miles an hour. Major League Baseball started the whole pitch count to try to get offenses going more. Do you think it's a time for either lowering the mound, bringing it closer, bringing it further? Do you think there's something that Major League maybe needs to do?
No,
I mean,
because
you got all these guys that can throw 100 plus now anymore, like 100 mile, 98. You know, there was a guy that I wish I remembered his name. His first pitch of the game was 97 miles an hour. His first pitch.
Yeah, but I listen. I understand that, but it's not sustainable, right? This 101, maybe it lasts for 2 years. I mean, your shoulder, your socket's not going to be able to keep up at that rate. Right. What I think is interesting about Pittsburgh is because they have this screen kid who's a freak. I mean, he can really lace the ball almost. So I'll mention him alongside Steven Strasburg.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he's young and he's been talked about, and he takes that mound, and you better watch out.
Yeah.
Because everything that's been said about him is true. He's a killer on the mound, and which is awesome. But I thought what was interesting is that, the Pittsburgh Pirates just have a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
Right. A bunch of guys you really don't know, whatever. They also have a guy you do know, and his last name is Chapman, Aroldis Chapman. And he's their closer. And once upon a time, he was the 100-mile-an-hour guy too.
Yeah.
And for the past couple of years, he's bounced around from club to club to club to club to club. And he's been pitching in the 97s and 98s and kind of, falling out. He's an older guy.
Yeah.
But I saw him throw a pitch the other day at 103 miles an hour. And I kind of thought to myself, I went, wow, you just need a couple guys that want to hang out with you and throw fast pitches.
Yeah.
Like, actually, like, it's almost a little bit like Kyrie Irving. He needs the camaraderie. You know, the other guys were like, well, what are you throwing? Oh, what are you throwing? Hey, get the old guy over here. He used to
a little competition. Yeah.
And like, I watched him throw. It wasn't just 103.
Yeah.
He threw 5 pitches over 100. And I went, look at you. Nobody cares. You're in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You're not Yankee.
Yep.
You're not a this or a that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? He's having fun playing baseball with a couple guys that throw it fast like him.
Yep. And that's what they do. They have a bunch of them that could throw 100 plus.
Yeah, I just thought it was fun seeing the old guy get out there and start hammering them home. And I was like, you know what? For all the negative reports that he's gotten over the years, that's a fun one that you take.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Now that we're playing the Twins, so let's get things straight. I was not happy. Very angry.
Very angry.
Oh,
Jack
my
was
God.
not happy. Not fun at Jack's house.
I had to buy a new TV.
At least Crystal didn't have a black eye.
I had to sell my house for a new TV. I'm not a good investor. Where am I?
All right. Well, one final thing. I always like to sign off with a little something 49ers. We all know about the Brandon Ayuk contract. Give you a little update on that. Right now, apparently, it is reported he is stuck around 30 million is what he wants. We're stuck around 25, 26. So the update is that we are at a standstill. Negotiations are intensifying, they are saying. So the 49ers are digging in and he's digging in. So what I think is going to happen is I don't think he's going to sign right away. I think about 2 weeks into training camp, kind of like Ayuk did, or kind of like Debo did, a couple weeks into training camp. It's when he's going to get his deal. Everything's going to be hunky-dory. And then I think I said this before, I believe we move on from Debo next year. So ultimately, I think it's going to be a cat and mouse back and forth between Ayuk and the 49ers front office. Ultimately, I think we end up signing him. I think he doesn't get the 30. I think he gets 28 mil a year, I think is what they're going to end up settling on. But I said this before, he is going to get massive guaranteed money from that contract.
I think, first of all, Debo's got to go because Purdy looks his way first all the time. And, Ayuk is the separator. Debo is not.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Actually, he missed a touchdown in the Super Bowl because, right?
Yes. No, listen. That is why I am fine with trading Debo. I love the skill set he brings, but he cannot separate. He could not separate in that Super Bowl at all. If he is not schemed to get the ball, he is not a wide receiver.
So, and what San Francisco, here's what's going to happen. I know you're being optimistic. I'm going to be the opposite side of the coin. I think it gets done towards the end of August.
Okay.
He's not going to come to camp.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to start seeing what we just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
That you don't have guys separating, that you don't have a little spark, because that's what Ayuk is. You need it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why San Francisco, because it's a real timing offense.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's got to run like a clock. And that's why
because that's what makes Brock Purdy so great, is that anticipation. He knows where that wide receiver is going to be. It's all about the timing, like you said.
But he won't in week one because Ayuk hasn't been there long enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be, it's snappy, but it's just a little off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's a loss, but it's not a loss that'll linger.
Mm-hmm.
And I think everybody in San Francisco is thrilled that they have Ayuk, but they know it's just a little late.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
That's just my thought.
Yeah. I could see that happening. And training camp doesn't start until end of July. So that kind of lines up to where I think, mid-August, you say end of August. So yeah, we're around the same area. One great thing coming out of OTAs, mandatory OTAs that came out, is apparently the connection between Pearsall and Purdy is unreal. So much that even Shanahan commented on it in his press conference. So that's great to hear.
Pearsall can play. I mean, Pearsall can absolutely fly.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and again, you're getting a guy who went to University of Florida, and Florida brings in talent.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at what Florida produces in the NFL. Maybe they're not producing as much as they once upon a time did.
Mm-hmm.
But the guys that get there are monsters.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So, all right, that's some great update on Brandon Ayuk.
Absolutely.
All you 49ers, for the 49ers army out there, Ayuk's coming.
49ers faithful.
Oh, 49ers faithful. All right.
That's what they're called. 49ers faithful is that's what they're called. So bang, bang, Niner gang.
All right.
All right. So yeah, that's all I got for this week. We got some great stuff in, caught up on a bunch of stuff. Can't wait for that game tonight, though. Exciting.
Guys, as it is every Sunday, we really look forward to hanging out with you.
We do.
Getting some of these ideas out there. We hope that you comment. That way we have other things to talk about, right? It's not just our points, it's yours as well, right?
Exactly.
So we will revisit these points next Sunday. Fight it out again.
All right. You got anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right. Yeah, me too. So, we'll see you guys next Sunday. Thanks again, guys, for showing up. Greatly appreciate it. And everybody that's jumping over to Old Gamer GK over on YouTube, Jack and I both greatly appreciate the support. You guys have been killing it over there for me, really helping me grow that brand. We need to make sure we get over to Fantasy Farm Sports on YouTube, all one word. Make sure we get over there. We need to get Jack's brand built up too. I want to give a special thanks out for that. Right there. It's all right there. All right, Jack, have a great night, and we will see you next week.
Next time.